If I told you the tallest mountain on Earth isn't Mount Everest? What if everything you thought you knew about Earth's highest peak was wrong? Everest may stand as the highest point above sea level, but there's another mountain, hidden from sight, that's even taller. A peak so massive it stretches beyond Everest's height, yet most of it remains unseen, buried beneath the ocean, and the more you learn about it, the crazier it gets. Let's start with what we all believe: Mount Everest, standing at 8,849 meters, 29,032 feet above sea level, is the ultimate challenge. It's the pinnacle of human endurance, the final frontier for climbers, where the air is so thin that it's called the death zone. But here's the problem: height is relative. See, Everest's record comes from measuring mountains above sea level. But is that really the best way? Think about it. If a mountain's base is already sitting thousands of meters above sea level, doesn't that give it an unfair advantage? What if we measured mountains from their true base to their peak, regardless of whether that base is above land or buried deep in the ocean? That's when things get interesting, because if we redefine what tallest really means, then Everest loses its crown. Lying in the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Hawaii, Mauna Kea is an ancient volcano towering above the Hawaiian Islands. At first glance, it doesn't seem impressive. Its peak reaches just 4,207 meters, 13,803 feet, above sea level, which is less than half of Everest's height. But what most people don't realize is that Mauna Kea doesn't start at sea level. It starts deep beneath the ocean, on the seafloor. If we measure from its true base, where the mountain actually begins, it rises a staggering 10,211 meters, 33,500 feet, from base to peak. That's over a mile taller than Everest. To understand why Mauna Kea is so tall, we need to look at how mountains form. Everest belongs to the Himalayan range, which was created by the collision of two massive tectonic plates, the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. Over millions of years, these plates pushed against each other, forcing the land upwards and giving birth to the world's highest peaks. But Mauna Kea, it wasn't pushed up, it grew. Mauna Kea is a shield volcano, built by countless lava eruptions over a span of 1 million years. The Hawaiian Islands themselves exist because of a hotspot, a fixed point deep in the Earth's mantle that continuously spews molten rock. As the Pacific plate slowly moves, new volcanoes form, and old ones become dormant. Mauna Kea is one of the largest volcanoes to ever emerge from this hotspot, rising from the ocean floor through layers and layers of hardened lava. And here's the mind-blowing part: Mauna Kea is still growing. How Mauna Kea stays hidden. If Mauna Kea is technically taller than Everest, why doesn't it get the same recognition? The answer lies in how we measure mountains. When scientists measure Everest, they calculate its height based on sea level. When they measure Mauna Kea, they also calculate its height from sea level. But Mauna Kea's base isn't on land. It's buried 6,000 meters, 20,000 feet, beneath the Pacific Ocean. That means most of its body is completely hidden underwater. If the ocean were to disappear tomorrow, Mauna Kea would stand as the single tallest mountain on the planet, dwarfing Everest. But Mauna Kea's height isn't the only thing that makes it special. While Everest is covered in ice, battling storms and avalanches, Mauna Kea's summit is home to something incredible: some of the most powerful telescopes on Earth. Because it sits above much of the planet's atmosphere, the air at Mauna Kea's peak is incredibly thin, dry and free of light pollution. That makes it one of the best places in the world for stargazing. In fact, astronomers say that if you stand on Mauna Kea's summit, you're closer to space than anywhere else on Earth. Why? Because Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It bulges at the equator. Since Hawaii is closer to the equator than Everest, Mauna Kea's peak actually sits farther from the center of the Earth than Everest's summit. In a way, it's not just the tallest mountain, it's also the closest place on Earth to the stars. So why does Everest still hold the title? The truth is, humans love a challenge. Climbing Everest is an extreme test of survival. Freezing temperatures, oxygen-starved air, and deadly cliffs make it one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Over 300 people have died attempting to reach its peak. Mauna Kea, on the other hand, doesn't have the same deadly reputation. It's remote, hidden beneath the ocean, and its summit is even accessible by road. It doesn't carry the same mythos as Everest, the tales of heroic climbers battling the elements to conquer the impossible. But here's what makes Mauna Kea even more fascinating: it's a sleeping giant. Scientists say that while Mauna Kea is dormant now, it's not dead. One day it could erupt again, reshaping the island, adding even more height to its already towering presence. So next time someone tells you Everest is the tallest mountain, you'll know the truth. Everest might stand the highest above sea level, but the real king of mountains is hiding beneath the ocean, rising higher than anything on land, waiting to be truly recognized.